Mount Everest. The name conjures images of icy peaks and unforgiving landscapes. It is the tallest mountain on Earth, reaching over 29,000 feet above sea level. For decades, climbers have braved treacherous conditions to stand on its summit. The allure of Everest is undeniable. It represents the ultimate challenge for human endurance and ambition. But this popularity comes at a cost. The number of climbers attempting to summit Everest has skyrocketed in recent years. This surge in interest has transformed the once solitary and serene climb into a bustling highway of adventurers. In the early days of Everest expeditions, only a handful of climbers would make the attempt each year. These pioneers faced the mountain with minimal support and rudimentary gear, making their journeys both perilous and awe-inspiring. Now, hundreds of climbers attempt the climb annually. The allure of conquering the world's highest peak has drawn people from all corners of the globe, each seeking their own piece of glory. This surge in popularity has led to overcrowding and a corresponding increase in waste. Base camps, once pristine, are now littered with discarded gear, food wrappers, and other refuse left behind by climbers. The sheer volume of climbers has made waste management a logistical nightmare. Efforts to clean up the mountain are ongoing, but the challenge is immense, with waste often buried under snow or blown away by strong winds. This is not just a problem on Everest itself. Other popular climbing destinations in the Himalayas are also grappling with similar issues. The base camps, where climbers acclimatize before their ascent, are also facing a trash crisis. These temporary settlements swell with climbers during the peak season, leaving behind a trail of waste. Large amounts of food packaging, equipment, and human waste accumulate at these camps. The high altitude and harsh conditions make waste removal a daunting task, often resulting in trash being left behind. The environmental impact of this waste is significant and threatens the delicate ecosystem of the Himalayas. The trash not only mars the natural beauty of these majestic mountains, but also poses a threat to wildlife and local water sources. Efforts are being made by various organizations and volunteers to clean up the mountains. These initiatives are crucial in preserving the natural beauty and ecological balance of the region. Every climber has a responsibility to minimize their impact. By carrying out their waste and adhering to sustainable practices, they can help protect these iconic peaks for future generations. The trash left on Everest is diverse and includes both biodegradable and non-biodegradable items. Oxygen tanks, a vital piece of equipment for high-altitude climbing, are often discarded on the mountain. These tanks are heavy and difficult to carry back down. Food packaging, tents, and climbing gear also contribute to the problem. Human waste is another major concern. While there are regulations in place for waste disposal, the extreme conditions and remoteness of the mountain make enforcement difficult. The accumulation of human waste poses health risks and contaminates water sources. The extreme altitude of Mount Everest makes waste management a unique challenge. The thin air at high altitudes makes even simple tasks incredibly strenuous. Carrying heavy loads of trash down the mountain is physically demanding and dangerous. Helicopters are sometimes used to remove waste, but this is an expensive and logistically complex operation. The freezing temperatures also pose problems. Waste often freezes solid, making it difficult to collect and transport. The combination of these factors has contributed to the accumulation of trash on Everest. The environmental impact of the trash on Everest is a growing concern. The plastic and other non-biodegradable materials can take hundreds of years to decompose. This debris litters the landscape, polluting the water sources and harming wildlife. The delicate ecosystem of the Himalayas is being threatened by this pollution. The melting glaciers, a consequence of climate change, are exacerbating the problem. As the glaciers melt, they are releasing trash that has been trapped in the ice for decades. This is a stark reminder of the long-term impact of human activity on the environment. The history of Everest expeditions is replete with examples of both responsible and irresponsible waste management. Over the decades, climbers have faced the dual challenge of conquering the peak and preserving its pristine environment. Some expeditions have made concerted efforts to minimize their impact. These teams have gone to great lengths to ensure that their presence leaves no lasting mark on the mountain. They have implemented strict waste disposal policies and carried their trash back down the mountain. This includes packing out all non-biodegradable materials and even human waste, which can be a significant logistical challenge. However, other expeditions have been less conscientious, leaving behind significant amounts of waste. This negligence has led to the accumulation of debris, which not only mars the natural beauty of Everest, but also poses environmental hazards. The 1953 British expedition, the first to successfully summit Everest, left behind a considerable amount of trash, including food tins and oxygen cylinders. This was a time when the environmental impact of such activities was not fully understood. This expedition, while groundbreaking, highlights the challenges of waste management in the early days of Everest climbing. The harsh conditions and the sheer difficulty of the climb made it nearly impossible to carry all waste back down. Today, climbers are more aware and better equipped to handle waste, but the legacy of past expeditions still lingers on the slopes of Everest. Recognizing the severity of the trash problem, there have been numerous efforts to clean up Mount Everest. The Nepalese government has implemented regulations requiring climbers to bring back a certain amount of trash. Organizations like the Everest Summiteers Association have organized cleanup expeditions, collecting tons of waste from the mountain. Technological innovations are also playing a role in the cleanup efforts. Researchers are exploring the use of biodegradable materials for climbing equipment and packaging. Drones are being used to map areas of high trash concentration, aiding cleanup crews in their efforts. The future of Mount Everest depends on the collective responsibility of climbers, expedition organizers, and governments. Each of these groups plays a crucial role in ensuring that the mountain remains pristine and accessible for future generations. Climbers must adhere to strict guidelines to minimize their impact, while organizers need to enforce these rules and provide the necessary support for sustainable expeditions. Governments, on the other hand, must implement and uphold policies that protect the environment and promote responsible tourism. Sustainable climbing practices, strict waste management regulations, and continued cleanup efforts are crucial for preserving the natural beauty of this iconic mountain. This includes not only removing existing waste but also preventing new waste from accumulating. Climbers should be educated on the importance of carrying out all their trash and minimizing their footprint. Additionally, innovative solutions such as biodegradable materials and advanced waste processing techniques can further aid in these efforts. Education and awareness campaigns can play a vital role in promoting responsible climbing. Workshops, seminars, and informational materials can help climbers understand the environmental impact of their actions and the steps they can take to mitigate it. These initiatives can also foster a sense of stewardship and respect for the mountain, encouraging climbers to become advocates for its preservation. Mount Everest is a symbol of human ambition and the pursuit of the extraordinary. The challenges faced by climbers, from harsh weather conditions to the physical and mental demands of the ascent, make reaching the summit a remarkable achievement. However, this pursuit should be balanced with a commitment to preserving the mountain's environment. However, this pursuit should not come at the cost of environmental degradation. The effects of climate change, such as glacier melting and changing weather patterns, are already impacting Everest. It is essential to address these issues through both individual actions and collective efforts. By reducing our carbon footprint and supporting conservation initiatives, we can help mitigate these effects and protect the mountain for future generations. It is our shared responsibility to ensure that future generations can experience the awe-inspiring beauty of Everest, free from the scars of human impact. By working together, we can create a sustainable future for this iconic peak, preserving its majesty and wonder for all who seek to explore its heights.